going to have a fascinating conversation about mindfulness and stress relief with a congressman. Yes, you heard me right. Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan just came out with a great new book called Mindful Nation. And we're going to sit down with him in just a moment. But first, I hit the streets of New York City to try to figure out what mindfulness really means and whether we live in a mindful nation. So this is the question of the day. What does mindfulness mean?
I don't know. Do you?
No, I'm trying to figure that out.
So mindfulness, can you explain it to me a little bit better?
Okay. What does mindfulness mean?
Oh, wow.
I want to say something with mindful in it. That doesn't work.
Jesus, I have no idea. Mindfulness.
Do you think Congress is mindful?
No.
Okay, well, there is a lot of confusion as to what mindfulness even means. So before I show you the rest of my adventures in New York City, let's speak to the man of the hour, Congressman Tim Ryan. Welcome, Congressman.
Great to be with you.
Well, let me ask you this big question. What does mindfulness even mean?
Mindfulness is being aware in the present moment. Our minds tend to get caught up in the future, in anticipation, fretting about what may come, or in the past of what we've done, we think may have been stupid, you regret it, you wish you would have made another decision. Most of us spend a lot of time in either of those areas. So mindfulness in the specific sense is a practice, a meditation practice that helps ground you into the present moment without judging what's going on. So just seeing what's coming up, see how your mind's working, studying your mind. In the broader sense, mindfulness is what kind of, in my estimation, is what kind of society do we want to live in. A more mindful society is one that looks at preventative health care instead of a disease management system. It looks at some of these techniques in the classroom, teaching kids to pay attention instead of yelling at them to pay attention. Not that I ever got yelled at in 12 years of Catholic school to pay attention. But to teach them how to pay attention, to teach them to slow down, to listen deeply, to tap into their creativity and their innovations. That, to me, how we set up our downtowns, how we set up our society, really, in a more mindful way.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've been reading your book, and I find it fascinating, but
Thank
I
you.
never thought I'd ever learn about mindfulness from a congressman. So tell me why this is something that you are passionate about, because I know that it's not just about the book, but you're really bringing this into Congress and within the communities. So why are you passionate about it, and what are the results that you're seeing?
Well, I think it can be transformational, and I'm here in New York because I'm trying to build a transformational political movement and to move from a transactional political system, which we have today, into a transformational political system. And I see mindfulness and a mindful approach as a way to do that. There's a lot of science behind it now. As we begin to understand more and more about how the brain operates, we are learning that mindfulness can be very, very beneficial to students in helping them focus and concentrate. It could be very, very beneficial to our workforce that in many instances, especially in healthcare and first responders, are really burnt out. It helps replenish. In healthcare, it's a major preventative technique to help reduce stress. Stress is a huge killer. Type 2 diabetes, ulcers, high blood pressure, heart disease. A lot of these things are either caused by stress or exacerbated by stress. So mindfulness practice can help us, I think, reduce our healthcare costs over the long run, which as a policymaker I have a major interest in. We have many veterans coming back that have a lot of trauma. And I know you and Nick are working a lot with a lot of these vets with tapping. Mindfulness and other alternative approaches are another way. So once I learned about how mindfulness was helping me personally, I immediately thought as a policymaker, wow, this could be very helpful in transforming education, this could be very helpful in transforming healthcare, this can heal our veterans, and this can slow our society down. We're all on the treadmill now, all of us, whether you're a congressman or a single mom with 2 kids, you're on the treadmill. How do we slow down a little bit and start appreciating life?
One thing I love about your book is that you're very grounded in your approach. You teach a lot of the science, taking a topic that might seem a little bit out there and woo-woo, and really showing the result and the groundedness around it. I want to talk about Congress itself, because I know that you're working.
Let's
with,
not do
I do.
We were having
there.
a perfectly fine conversation.
I'm going there. I mean, you're doing so much within the communities, with schools, and with veterans, but actually within Congress, what have you been doing to help congressmen be more mindful so that they're making better decisions and really checking in with themselves and with their morals and figuring out what the best next step is?
Well, we're all trying to be more mindful. So what I wanted to do was create a space for members of Congress. So I started a quiet time caucus, where for the first half hour of the week, a half hour before our first votes, in the chapel, the Speaker's Chapel, right under the Capitol Dome, we have quiet time caucus. Half hour, you can come in, no particular meditation or prayer practice, but it will be a half hour of quiet time. And you can come in and you can do transcendental meditation, you can do Vipassana, you can breathe, you can pray the rosary. You just can't talk. That's the only rule in Washington. And I know some people will find that hard to believe, that there's a half hour where no one's talking, but I wanted to create that space for members of Congress. And then once a week, we've been doing a staff half hour where we have different teachers come in, like Tara Brock. We had Andrew Weil last week, who came in and did a talk and taught one of his breathing techniques. So for staff as well, who many of them may be members of Congress in the future, chiefs of staff. So while we're doing the political movement from the outside and the mindfulness movement from the outside, I also want to light a candle from the inside. And eventually, hopefully, the two will meet. We have the internal light of and quietness of slowing us down as legislators and staff, but also the political movement that says, hey, we want our elected officials to take a little quiet time.
It's fascinating because it's something that is basic, it's simple, it's slowing down, but the results that you see are incredible, because when you can breathe, you are more resourceful, you can make better decisions, you can see things clearly. So it's really incredible that in our own lives, just even having the conversation of mindfulness can really shift us in the moment to see life in a different way. For someone who is watching this right now, what are some examples of how they can be more mindful?
Well, take some time every day, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you can do. Take some time and just stop and turn the TV off, set your electronic device down, and turn off the iPhone. Don't look on the internet, and just take a minute or two for some quiet time and see what happens. There are also a lot of CDs and DVDs you can get. John Kabat-Zinn, I highly recommend him. Tara Brock has a lot of podcasts. She's out in Maryland. On a website, and they do some guided meditations, because you do get distracted. You'll sit there, your mind will go off, and you'll go, oh, I'm not good at this, and you'll pick your phone back up. But something does happen after taking a few minutes of quiet time. So I would say just try it. And as we've talked, a lot of people say, oh, that's a little woo-woo for me. We're talking about breathing here. We are not getting into religion. You don't have to adopt any belief system. I'm still Catholic. You don't have to check it all in and then go in and say, I'm going to be a mindful person now. It's part of being a human being and taking a little bit of quiet time, like our grandparents used to do. My grandparents used to pray the rosary. I mean, that was their quiet time. That was their prayer. And if you think it's woo-woo, just think the United States Marine Corps is adopting a mindfulness-based practice, a mind training exercise and they're going to ramp it up in the next few years for all the Marines. Now, the United States Marine Corps is not a woo-woo organization, and you look at the corporations that are doing it now, Google, Procter & Gamble, Target, General Mills, major corporations, a lot of the tech companies now, because they're realizing we have to train our employees, our leaders, everyone, how to function in this world where we're getting overwhelmed with information, overwhelmed with noise. A lot of it is irrelevant, really, to our lives, but it makes its way into our psyche. So how do we teach these techniques, whatever they may be, to help us focus more? And if you watch athletes on TV or dancers or musicians, those are the people we have a lot of respect for. They're in the zone. They're focused. They're not in the past or the future. They're in the moment. And so that there's nothing woo-woo about being in the moment. It will increase your performance, reduce your stress. and hopefully help you enjoy your life a little bit more.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we hear it over and over again that change starts from within. And
Yeah.
what you're doing here is you're empowering millions of individuals to take responsibility, and then that's when change happens. So I am such a fan of your approach.
Thank you.
Such a fan of this book. I think it's
Thanks.
fantastic. So thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah.
And I want to invite everybody that's watching this to take some time, take maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, to have some silent time. You can tap, you can meditate, you can just relax. And write in and let us know how that experience was for you. If you comment on the blog below, you get a chance to win a copy of Congressman Tim Ryan's new book, a signed copy. So make sure you comment below. Thanks, everyone. And until next time, take care and keep tapping.
Mindfulness. Well, I think being courteous and mindful of other people in terms of respecting them, giving them the same dignity that you would want for yourself.
What do you think mindfulness means? From a New York Jedi perspective, what do you think mindfulness means?
Well, when you're wielding about 6 feet worth of staff, you kind of have to be mindful of your surroundings, mindful of yourself, and especially mindful of your partner.
I think just the awareness of self in relation to others, and that's hard to do.
Being aware of things, knowing what's going on, and caring about other people.
Now, when you paint, can you describe the experience of painting? Does it feel like a mindfulness experience?
It does. It feels like connecting with the world.
So when you pray, you feel like that's your way to be mindful?
It is definitely yes. I have to keep it in mind, and I have to have a goal, and I have a focus.
Do you think the government would be better if mindfulness and techniques like meditation and just different stress relief techniques were practiced?
Oh yeah, for sure. Without a doubt.
You think we'd live in a better America if we were more mindful?
We'd live in a better world at any time if you were more mindful. We used to be.
We'd all be nicer to each other, and we'd listen to each other's points of view, even if we disagree.
I think it's important. I mean, I definitely think that Americans have a tendency to stress themselves out too much.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, I'm really good at this.
There you go.
I am now a New York Jedi. I think they'd beg to differ. It's like the Democrats and the Republicans. Do you meditate by any chance?
Meditate for what?
I don't know, for life.
At my age, I'm lucky I get up in the morning. Are you kidding?
And can I interview you for a project I'm doing? No? Where are you from? Oh, Germany. Okay, welcome to America. I get the chance to interview Congressman Tim Ryan, and he wrote this new book called Mindful Nation. Shalane? Focus. No.